28, 4:55 in the morning in 1992.
Turned the radio on to hear a noise. It shook my trailer off the jacks. Everything in the house is upset down. The ground is still trembling as I'm speaking. Early in the morning, just as the moon is there, the sun isn't up yet. I guess this will cancel our trip to Big Bear. I've got things sitting around here. I'm amazed. My torches are upside down, my welder, everything. The ground's shaking right now. Here we go again. Got another one going. That tank laying there was standing up. The trailer was on the jacks. That air conditioning swamp cooler was hanging in that window. All that stuff was stacked up. Even my propane tank is upset down. Man, I'm telling you, this is a ride. I'm still shaking here. I mean, I'm not me, the ground. Back around. I've got one there. I hate to see this shit, but it's happening. I hear Barbara calling me from the neighbors over that way. That's up towards our store, over in that direction by Hondo Trail, I think. Yeah, up by Hondo Trail and Old Woman Springs Road. And here and film this, we're shaking again. This is sometime later, but we got a cloud of fire smoke above town, and the whole desert has a layer of dust between here and the monument from this thing shaking. You can see my propane tank has been flopped over off of one leg. Things are starting to settle down here a little bit. It's kind of exciting to talk about this stuff when it's really happening. Let me turn around and back up. And here's Barbara, fresh out of bed this morning at 5 o'clock when our great big shake happened here. And it's Pepsi time.
No coffee, no coffee.
No coffee.
No.
We have just received another little shaker. I'll zoom back here. We're over at the neighbor's. She was in the shower. I don't have to tell you how she made it outside. There's some cracks here in the driveway all the way across. I mean, they're going all the way out towards the shed. This tool shed is absolutely a disaster inside. It'll take 3 guys to pick up my tools. We're still getting shakes. We are almost 2 hours after the initial 7.1 is what they tell us on the thing. And everything here is, I'll just throw it in the middle of the floor. Here comes another one. I can feel it right now. You can hear them. You can hear the ground starting to rumble. There. Ain't that something? Oh, you're going to last a little bit. Okay. Smoke's clearing up from that fire over that way. Yeah, everybody around here was trying to figure it was a 6 or a 7. Now you can hear a fire siren working. Span the area. I don't see any more fires out here. We've had 3 right close to where we're at, and there's the smoke from the second one that I know of, but I think there was 2 of them over there not too long ago. Helicopters been flying around. They was airlifting people out that was injured. We had a couple broken arms and from falling out of bed or trying to get out of bed, that kind of thing. Barbara and I have picked up a lot of stuff. That TV wasn't on the floor. It was actually right there behind that plant, but I set it on the floor while it was still shaking. Barbara's been leading the dog around because he's as scared as everybody else. You see the dent on the top of the refrigerator there. The refrigerator fell over on its face. I picked that. That was one of the first things I picked up so we could get the food out. We don't know how long it's going to be before we can get help out here. But everything in the kitchen's in the kitchen floor. And then we got a bunch of little giddies over here. Yeah, they're all in the corner. And the hell with this shit.
Walk over to
failure of their electric system. And they're out now trying to ascertain who's on there and what's going on. So let's go right back to the phones.
This is the neighbor's house up by Mr. Miller's. Looks like the trailer threw all the stuff off the side of the footing.
What kind of damage you got down there?
Quite a deal. This is 3/4 of a mile from our house, the fault line laying across here. Needless to say, we got a little bit of a break here. This is one of many that's been reported alongside the roads and fault lines out here. You can see down the wash, or down the road actually, the road is actually a wash, but we've had a water main break and come out of this side road right there and wash down the road here. So, 1 mile and 1/10 from our house. The front porch, as you can see, from that end of the building to this end of the building is on the ground. Parking lot, you can see the parking lot has been shifted and broke up. I don't know if we can get a picture inside. I'm going to try and get a picture inside. I don't know if you can see this, but I can sure smell it. Every bottle of liquor is off on the floor between the cash register and the deal. And you can see my reflection in the window here in the dirt. But as close as I can get, that's all the better I can see. Look back around this way, I put my hand up. It's a mess. Terry Burr, talk to me.
It's a lot worse down the road.
Is it?
Yeah, it's bad that way.
I haven't been that way, but I was going.
Can you get through the Yucca?
Yeah, it's rough, but you can make it. There's some 2-foot drop-offs and fissures everywhere.
There's one right back down here in front of Dalton Tank. The road lifted coming out onto the street.
Yeah.
It lifted about 2 feet.
Yeah, it's the same way down there. I came from a house down there that they're going to have to doze in. It's bad.
Yeah. Well,
Later.
have a nice Sunday.
See what's Dad?
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Get the...
Yeah. Well, this used to go downhill.
Yeah, you got the movie rights, Joe. I'll have the book rights. Okay.
Get it into LA. We want to be on TV.
Kind of hard to walk around on this uneven ground. But the end of this slab used to drop a foot below the building out here. Now it is even with the floor on the inside of the building. It's raised up at least a foot to 18 inches. This is the tire shop where I got my car painted and I do all my little bit of work. There's all kinds of things around here. It's almost totally gone. The inside of the shop is absolutely destroyed. There's a crack through the middle of the floor you can stick your finger in. And this gives you some idea. Here's a crack here. You could lose your foot in it. I don't know how wide that is, but I would say it's 6 to 8 inches wide right here.
Benches, everything moved.
Yeah, all this shit you're looking at was up against the wall at one time.
Yeah, this was over there, this was there, my bench was over here. Shit. The fire extinguisher fell on the ground. This is bad. It's going down, look at your lights. Look where I was hitting the wall. That's what was fastened, that pipe was fastened, huh?
That's where the heater's been filling that report, hitting the wall.
Well, Joe, you might as well get me in this picture and tell that.
While I'm standing here filming this, we are experiencing another shake, and a good one too.
Don't call your old man. It'll take a lot of shoveling to straighten this out.
Yeah. Joe better get his goddamn back out here and drag it. That's unbelievable. Get down foot.
This is the backyard behind the tire shop. major destruction. Along the crack going up over the bank, you can see where the whole bank has dropped a foot up in the top. You zero in kind of. Right in that area, there is a drop in the dirt bank of at least a foot. Everything here really moved tremendously. Prior to the earthquake, a ditch I dug through there that out towards the end was 4 feet deep. It is now full. The dirt off this bank has shook down and filled the drainage ditch that runs along here for drainage. I think we're going to have a little dirt work here. If you look up there on the bank, I'm going to zoom in on it because I'm looking right into the sun right now. There is the drop I was speaking of on this dirt bank. And if you come down and look across, you see where it broke and shifted. Going up the other side, you see the drop there. Quite a bit of damage done here this morning. And we are 2 hours after the earthquake, still receiving shocks and tremors of pretty good magnitude. Most of these are, we're working about a 3 on this break. Okay, this gives you an idea how hard this ground moved along through here. We're looking at Terry's place now, where this mobile home with a double slide outs on it has slid and fell clear off its foundation, breaking everything all to hell. I come around looking at these places here, and I realized that my place wasn't as bad hit as I thought it was. I got off pretty easy. Well, this will give you an idea how far it slid from one side to the other. I'm just about ready to lose the battery again, so I'm going to have to get it charged. First chance I get. There's the stair steps, and there's the entrance right next to it. So that whole trailer has moved about 4 feet.
Yeah, I believe so, I think.
One of the houses that caught fire this morning, I took film of with the smoke coming up west of my house, has totally gone to the ground.
Well, they're like family, you know? Yeah. My friend said he saw it.
That's News Copter 4 you hear, and there's another one over here to the side flying around. Here in Wayland Wash, just over the hill from my house. See this little truck right there? See those skid marks right in there? Scrape marks and stuff? He went across this just as it happened. As you can see, Ritchie Road has made a drop. There's Mr. Miller standing down at the bottom of that hole, and this road was level. Let me see if I can get out here and stand. This will give you an idea of how much this road changed. I'm standing in the center line looking up the middle of the other road. This thing has shifted just about 1/2 the road's distance.
Keep going. That rear wheel drive.
There's a fault, the fissure laying right there. You see where this ground's all broke up? Right here where I'm standing.
Take right there in the spot. Look at this whole thing slipped up.
Yeah. We don't have no power.
Looks like that house is off kilter too.
He's dead, run.
That trailer is off its foundation.
Oh, for sure. See the telephone pole over here?
Right. We got phone. We have no electric. We can't get there yet.
Is there any way to skirt 247 here? They've got it closed off. Is there any way to get around? Just go down this way and then...
What? You can get back through there. You got to go slow.
They've got it closed off.
Well, they let us. I just come from that direction.
Oh, he wants to get back here.
Well, then,
Drone, what the drone is it? What? Edison?
Edison line. Right.
That's why millionaires stay right here. If you want to really see something like that, at your risk.
Well, we're about due. The way they're talking, we're going to get...
We're supposed to get another.
This is Mojave Liquor, 1 mile from where I live.
See what it is.
Can you see?
What do you want?
Okay, let me see. What can I see on the floor?
Everything's in there.
Okay, what you're looking at is the bottom of Wayland's Wash. We was filming this with a power company trying to fix a light pole that's broke. You can see where the fault goes right through here where this car is driving now. The road is sunk approximately 3 feet. I'll zoom into this engineer up there who's measuring and taking notes of this. As you can see, there you go. As you can see, we got about a 2-foot drop right there in that area of the road. It just sunk off. That little truck up there, left marked right there where that guy's standing, blew all 4 tires and hit that when it broke through. He came through here just as the thing was happening. I don't know if you can tell, but this whole area right here has dropped about 6 inches right in that little area where it was looking. That's Cleo's fish tank. Needless to say, there's no water in it. Cleo says he's got a sponge for a carpet. Yeah, light's good. That's the side of the house where the room addition was made and a 2-story park put on. Okay, what we're looking at now is the water tower and the Bighorn water agency. And there There, you can see part of that split. There's another one around the corner there. Little chingaderas is there. This whole thing has been bounced around unbelievably. Look at a wrinkle on the side of that tank. I'll walk around here a little further and you can see the hole on the side where the pipe is actually broke loose. You can get an idea how far this tank is sunk. There you can see a broken pipe in the ground right there. That piece going up the side of the tank. Look at the wrinkle in that tank. Sure enough, it's moving. And there's where she broke out pretty good. As you can see from the ground still being wet, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 12 hours since the first earthquake when this thing broke and let all the water out. The back side of this tank where the pipe broke loose. You see where the bend is in the pipe and where the hole is as compared to where the tank originally set. It's sunk at least a foot. This morning on my previous tape I had 2 clouds of smoke coming up. This area you're looking at right now is the house that was north of my place with a real large cloud of smoke. The worst part about the deal was it's right next to the water agency and the water tank had busted and they had no water pressure here to put this out. Real ironic. It's a total loss. Completely burn up. This is the power pole out in front of the water district. Tie section right there on the top. Where the tension cable is normally tied with an insulator. We'll come down the pole. Here we go, fastest trip down a pole you ever made. Laying there on the ground is the insulator. Piece of a cable still laying there. Out here is what's left of the tie rod end. Let me zoom back here a little bit. That is the anchor rod, insulation cover, and the cable laying here. Right here at my feet. Snapped completely in two from the whipping action of this earthquake. Well, they're into some problems here. More weight on those lines than the truck can hold, I believe. Moving everybody out of the way. Got the road closed down here. They're shutting it down so that nobody can get through. Lines are starting down. The last batch of people through was the fire crew. You see them going over the hill. We got an Edison truck over here on the hillside. We got loaders, dozers, all kinds of good stuff out here doing some work, trying to get this fixed. Got to get this road open for these people. Trying to get in there in that damn soft dirt.
Yeah, there's almost no way.
Well, if they go in there behind him with a dozer now and push him in, he get him in far enough. I guess that wire is so heavy. Well, by golly, he made it. Give you an idea how rough that road is. Okay, we're looking down Old Woman Springs Road, and I can feel a tremble right now where I'm standing. Ground's trembling right now. We're getting ready to have another good quake. I'm going to turn around, show you where the road's starting to break up right there. There. The waves in the blacktop there. Crack right across to the road here. And right down the middle of the road, looking the other way, is a fracture in the road. All the humps and bumps in the highway go in that direction, looking back towards Yucca Valley. This is what the road looks like from this angle. There's the crack I just showed you. Looking into the sun. Back around this way. This is a road in front of High Desert disposal, High Desert Tank. It's Dalton Tank's old building they sold out. You can see where the road is broke up and lifted. You look out that way, going right under the Hadley road sign. You can see that fault going that direction and headed right behind that house. Vehicles coming. A lot of traffic out here, even with a caution up. This is less than 3/4 of a mile from my house. This is the fault line we're standing on. And if we look back down this way, you can see how it wrinkles right through the road here and goes towards that church. And it goes right through there, around behind the church, and down the other side into the wash. Spectators showing up. Morning.
I'd love to film my damage inside.
Yeah. I got up this morning, run into the back house, jumped the refrigerator, landed in the living room, got my camera and a pair of shoes, and went out the front door before everything was done falling, and had this camera working.
Good for you.
I got to get the I got the E flashing in the camera right now, so I'm going to have to charge my battery up again here real quick.
Oh, how can you do that?
I got a generator at the house. I start it up, takes about 10 or 15 minutes, and the battery charges back full.
Do you have a generator? Do you have a generator?
Yeah. Got a 3,000 watt.
Do you have power yet?
No.
No, but we may have power before too long. They're working on it. They're pretty well together.
We'd like to get a video of the damage because...
Good morning. 5:24, 6:29, the morning after the earthquake. This is our sunrise. This is where we slept last night, on the back of our 47 Dodge, waiting for the aftershocks. There were quite a few aftershocks last night, nothing really serious though. As you can see, I've parked all the vehicles in such a way that they're spread out. I've got the little trailer hooked up to the GMC pickup, kind of help stabilize it in case we have another one. We're expecting a 6-pointer, and we've had a whole bunch of small ones. The dogs have been restless all night, especially just before having a little tremor. You can hear Tahoe over there. She's been like this all night long. Tahoe and Taurus, and they're just whining and crying and don't know what to do with themselves. This is our water district manager's house, Mike Moline. Smile pretty and wave.
Where are you from?
Huh?
Where are you from?
Oh, you don't know me without my cowboy hat and beard, huh?
Oh, very good. I'll let Mike know the plan. Get map out 33 also. You want me to grab any other circuit map? Here in the Yucca Valley,
You're looking at all the fractures from a fault line that goes right under Mike Moline's house. This looks like it's going to be a complete total. I don't know if we can save this or not. Be a challenge.
Mike's trying to find his wallet.
Yeah. I don't imagine you guys hung around very long when it started doing this.
No. Well, Mike got up immediately and started doing water. About 10 years old. Couldn't find my regular glasses.
Uh-huh.
Mike found these beside our bed somehow.
Oh, that's where they ended up, huh?
Well, no, these I haven't seen for I don't know how many years.
Uh-huh. I stopped him the other day. In fact, that's why I'm out here this morning. I wanted to come by and get a picture of this, but I wanted to talk to him about helping fix this water district. There's 6 months, a year's worth of work here. Every place the road is moved, you know.
Yeah.
That, and I'm standing next to the horse corral. There's my little shadow. But this bank was all solid at one time, and now the whole place is, it's hard to walk around. That's why I shut it off. Yeah, these old things go way down in the ground. Right through the garage. I'm recording now. That's what I was getting ready to do. Peek in the door here.
Get some light in there.
All water for people. Yeah.
Hey, George!
I've been doing a lot of filming of different things in case people want an account of their damage.
We were lucky. It did no structural damage.
George looks like he got off pretty lucky. He just spilled a little hay.
Yeah. Of course, he hasn't looked at the rest of it yet either. We're experiencing another aftershock right now. It's shaking pretty good. I'm trying to record this and get next to the door. If you'll excuse the expression. See everything shaking here. Look at that. A little action. This is George Hertel's feed store in Flamingo, on the edge of Landers, so we could call it Flanders if we need. You can tell that this thing took a pretty good shake. I was trying to get some structural looks here. Some of our roof beams have been twisted a bit. Okay, there's a little twist in that one. That one don't look too bad. The rest of these, I don't know if that's sagged down or not, I can't tell. But that's definitely turned there. That one's not too bad. There's one you can see has been twisted. There's another one's been twisted. That one there. This is the center room looking out towards the back door. I don't know how much of this I can get before I get there. There's a low light sign, so I can't get much. If we opened the side doors, I could probably get it all, but we'll have to see what George is going to do here first. This roof is slid over that far. He's got a rope tied over it now, trying to keep it from going any further. It was even. Got an overhang on one side and none on the other. Well, you never think, but, you know, there it is. Your hay barn out here is going to need a little reinforcing, but the rest of this place, it looked like it held up pretty good.
This stuff is up on top.
That paneling really. Well, we're still due for a pretty good one yet.
Yeah.
breaks out and goes right through there and right towards that school bus. Right behind the church.
There's going to be mattresses going in, and I got to pull the queen size mattress. I got to bring
It's
down.
not level.
Well, I need to.
Let's just set it up right over here. This should be a nice level spot. Just kind of rake this down a little
We'll
bit.
go up and take pictures of this house. I guess it's all busted up on the inside. It's broke up and gonna quit.
Because it is sunk.
That sidewalk just folded, didn't it?
Yeah, it's chopped. You hit the corners of the garage.
Well, you know, you're only half a mile from the fault itself, and you're sitting on the epicenter.
The kid's bedroom took the worst damage of all.
Yeah. The wall's actually separated, huh?
Oh yeah, come in the bedroom. You can see right out of our bedroom, you can see outside.
You can see where it looked like it broke right there.
That was just a little... We broke out the walls over here.
Where?
This corner.
Yeah, this house is total.
Yeah, I don't think it's habitable.
Back?
Yeah.
Where's the keys to the pickup?
In it?
In it? Oh, okay. Shit, I shouldn't have looked.
This bedroom over here, the walk-in kitchen and bathroom, terrible view. Where Amanda's standing.
Do that again.
Hi, Mom.
Look at
over here.
Hi, Mom.
Everybody look at the camera. You know,
Not even showing.
what do you mean?
You wouldn't take our double children. Yeah, right. You told us to get our kids first.
Everybody have a good
Thanks a lot. Double chins hanging down.
This is Willie's up the street. He just got home from his traveling around, kicking around the countryside. He decided he ain't gonna stay, he's gonna leave tomorrow.
I don't blame you, I'd leave too.
You ought to see Doc Terrell's place. It looks just like this, but 10 times as much stuff.
Well, that's what happens when you get so much stuff.
Oh yeah, he lost 2 computers, and he's got earthquake insurance, and them 2 computers will be what it cost him for his deductible, you know.
Yeah.
And
the ones that don't have it, their house is destroyed. She was worrying about her lamp being busted, but not big deal. It's still sitting there with.
well, you ought to take it out and set it on the floor next to a chair or something.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna stay. Boy, just everything out of the cupboards is on the floor, just like my place.
She broke it, Lord, it's been broke for 40 years.
Yeah, right.
She got it.
Well, I told the girl I talked to, she said, go ahead and fix your hot water tank. But tell Emery what to do and...
Well, that would be up to strictly your adjuster, honey, what he's gonna, whether he's loud or not.
Same one around here. He knows. What's our insurance company?
Foremost, which is American States.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Not formal. And this one wasn't no playground, this one.
This is Dee and Emery's house over in Joshua Tree. It's all fallen down. That's Roy Goodwin leaving right now. He's the trailer expert, installer.
Did you sell your place, Joe?
Not yet.
Here's another new bunch. I'm going to stick to Mr. Goodwin, because he built our court before.
He's a nice man.
He built our
And he's been a...
How you doing, Bob?
Hi.
Right over top of the house. That old boy is flat hauling ass. He just made the turn right over the house. As I grabbed the camera and looked up, he was right over my head. That'll give you an idea, he ain't very high. Here's the top of the neighbor's chimney. Dorothy, I want you to smile.
I've got him in. We brought you some more milk.
I did that morning.
You know what? We let that donut sit on the table.
Now, Vicki, I'll tell you what we're going to do here. We're going to go run over to the house. I'm going to kick the wall. You're going to come out like you was in the shower, and we're going to reenact this whole thing. You know, so everybody gets it on film, see?
That would be fun.
You know, at the moment, which seems to be...
Just keep talking, because I'm recording, and this picks up all the noise. They'll even get the TV.
And I suppose I'll get another little, exchange before that later. But for now, the land, trees, deckers, and portland, we're doing great out here. What do you say, pal?
I say we're doing great if you don't want to see it.
And I've got a request.
They said it was, what, 350 homes destroyed?
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, 350.
I know that every house around me but my landlady's is destroyed.
What?
There was 420 mobile homes that's on piers or jacks.
Oh, Joe, you should see my mother's mobile home.
That-
That's where I'm staying in the trailer over there.
All
My
the
mom's mobile
homes up there
home.
were destroyed.
She's in tears, I'll tell you that. Everything she owns is gone.
Every mobile home up there was destroyed.
420 of them. That's,
That's not every one of them, but that's...
no.
They were all destroyed. They were all...
No, I had to fix these doors just to get them closed, Joe. These front doors.
Yeah.
And they still don't close right. Yeah, this whole building. Maybe if I push on the wall, you could catch it on film. Yeah, moving like it does. I don't know if it'd be noticeable on film or not. But it sure is noticeable. It used to be a nice clean room.
This isn't a bad deal. You ought to see Doc Terrell's place. His is about 3 foot deep with everything and anything that he had in his house. It's all on the floor.
I've seen it worse. I've seen
You
it
know?
worse. My mother's mobile home is worse than this here at all. Yeah, when the wind blows, you can see the walls move. And I'm not kidding.
Well, you know, this whole damn area around here really took a kick in the ass. This is a very large house up here, the whole side buckled on it. Back along there, you see cracks in the wall there. Piece is actually missing out from under that window there. Roof doesn't look bad though. Well, wait a minute, there might be a wrinkle there. The rest of it looks... Now the whole outside of that house on this corner has been pushed out probably 2.5 feet. So now we know where this is. There's no street signs on the corner, so get a picture of this mailbox. This is up at Richard Moore's house, and a guesstimation is this is approximately within a couple hundred feet of the epicenter. This is the top of a whole bank that's all settled down, headed down towards the neighbor's house down there. Dirt bank right next to the driveway along the house. Just everything collapsed. This is the backside of Richard Moore's house on the side of the hill. You can see where the whole hillside has slid off towards the canyon. Across the hill over there, you can see where the top of the hill slid down right there. Backside next to the sliding glass door on the back porch. Looking inside, you can see everything is down. Carpet's all pulled up. Ground's all separated right here. There's a ground floor in the house, a crack right through the middle of the house. This whole corner is ready to pop out right there. It's all broke. Down into there. The window's all broke loose. There's a complete set of cabinets missing off this wall. They've already been taken away, cleaned up. A bunch of this stuff here, you can see the line on the wall where the cabinets were. And all this overhead's busted and broke. Over here in the corner, it's out of adjustment. It's all twisted and busted there. Looking into the back room, you can see a crack on the floor as I walk in here. The floor's lifted up so much, that's all the wider they can open the door. Everything is pretty well thrashed and busted all to hell. This door here can't be opened at all. This is the floor going towards the bedroom. This is the door, all busted. The house is settling. More and more all the time. Every aftershock. This wall here is split top to bottom. This dresser laying here next to the bed was over on the other wall behind me, and it was thrown clear across the room and into the wall. Closet doors are all off and everything. The door jambs are all busted. This is everything that Richard had in his dressers and chest. Everything's on the floor. Doesn't make any difference what it was in. It got shook loose and thrown away. Standing outside again, looking back in towards the kitchen, you can see where the crack goes through the floor, right out the back. Right down over the hill and out the back. Where you're looking at this pile of dirt, right in there in the middle of the frame, you can see where there's a depression. Right over there's a depression. And on the top of that thing right there, I don't know if you can see it, it's a little oil spill. It all come from that Chevy truck right there. It was sitting here after the shake. And it was parked there when it started. So it moved it from back there out here over the bank when it all got done. Give you an idea how far this hillside slid down all of a sudden. Pretty good drop for a little bit of a shaker.
About it.
What's your full name?
Huh?
Give me your name so I can get this on the tape.
Oh, okay, yeah. Steve Bolduck.
Okay. We are looking at a keep out. This is worse than shit sign. And that's me you see standing in the window.
Yeah.
Well, you can see where the whole damn thing's separated. What's his name over here? The trucking company?
Mm-hmm.
I videoed his place here a little while ago. And the floor has got 2 levels. It's broken in the middle. It's got a 6-inch gap in the floor.
It's all the way through here. I mean,
it's all fractured and everything.
X right there, X right on the roof and stuff.
Fireplace.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky that one guy, little kid, was sleeping in the living room and the fireplace fell on him.
I know. I heard.
2.5 years old.
That's a tragedy. Took that window out right there. I've already, as you can tell, I've already moved shit out.
Yeah.
I've been using the last 2 days.
Well, there's been a lot of people moving. Hell, I was helping the CHP on traffic control, and about every 3rd truck. Yeah, everybody was saying, I'm going any place but here, especially if it don't shake. Which I can hear it shaking right now.
No, that's the shot.
Yeah, I think you got a little stress there.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, some people get stressed out. Other people's houses get stressed out. Now, so that the truck doesn't have to go as far to fill it. However, it stretched that little copper line out a long way.
A little bit.
Yeah, that definitely did a little moving there. That way you'll be able to get the money back for what it cost you to pay for the demo.
Yeah.
At least-
Probably.
at
I'm
least-
even thinking about just foreclosing, let the fucking...
Looking down a fence line that is straight back here, but if you look down there, you can see how far out of line the earth actually moved at this point. I'll turn around and face the other way, and you can see the distance in the other direction. I just felt the ground shake again.
All right.
Yeah.
Finally, after the fire. I feel something, but I'm out.
Just start.
It split the plate right off.
Yeah,
Shoves it
it's
out.
off and on the outside of the foundation right there.
Yeah, it is. One guy said he...
Well, you know what's going to happen is they're going to require you to demolish this place.
Oh, yeah.
And
Need you to come see the other side of the house, see what happened when it was swaying. Evidently, when the Red Cross was here doing an inspection, and they said the house was going this way. Are you going to call that maybe a pressure jack because you know all these cars inspection is taken? I think evidently when it's swaying this way, and you see it fractured all around
Yeah.
the 8-foot line there.
poked a hole through it.
Pushed it right out. The chicken wire's still sticking out where it was swaying back and forth.
Everything's busted off at about the 8-foot level.
Yeah, and above. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
the least damaged end is the west end. Part we hadn't gotten to clean up over there yet, because that's the corner the fire was in, and the cooler is what started that. The cord shorted.
I guess that tree was just always hiding it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I've been trying to watch the
Well, the last couple shakes we've had, it's got several other houses I've filmed.
We had it for a few years before we brought it out here. It was about this big around.
How much is my
about the
video?
size of that limb.
How much is the video going to be?
This is July 3rd, sunset. And the night before the 4th. The next thing you see on this will probably be a 4th of July celebration. I'm going to take the camera down and see if I can get some we'll try to get ourselves some 4th of July fireworks on this thing over the weekend. With it, get that iris adjusted. What we're looking at is a truck fire, camper fire. Fire department just arrived. They got her pretty well whipped, but there's nothing left. Propane tank popped already, so that guy's pretty safe walking in there. I'm filming this rock by this trailer next to the neighbors. The trailer was sitting on this round stone. And as we step up to look at the stone, I'm going to zoom in so you can see the track made on the concrete from the jack stand on the trailer. Zoom in. Now that's the direction the trailer went, from center there, around to there. There's a mark right in the center, and right on the edges, you can see where it went right out through the center of the viewfinder, off the edge. It bounced back up and came on again right there. It hit right there, and it scooted off, clear to that position right there. That's the piece that was sitting on the rock in front of the trailer. Quite a bit of movement for a little shaker. We're over here at Dorothy's looking at that same trailer. This is the steps going in the door. However, the door has moved. Isn't that a coincidence? I think everybody around here has moved that. Pictures of water bladders. Nobody's looking. We use them for spas. Jacuzzi floozies. What's your name?
Mascorpa Tipiani.
Where are you from?
Chicago.
Chicago. Hey, well, you don't mind this wind.
No, but I mind the heat.
Yeah, well, the heat ain't worth a damn no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
Here or Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Just stuck in a tent, huh?
It's true.
You had a lot of people coming by?
Yeah, a lot.
Well, this is a good picture to show that you're out here damn near nowhere. We are in Landers at the Bighorn Water District. This is a water tank that busted out. They've been repairing it all week. It's also right next door to the famous Landers sign and post office. That is the Landers U.S. Post Office. To give you an idea of the force of this earthquake, it picked this tank up, they estimate, to be approximately 18 inches and dropped it while it was full of water. There's part of the reason it broke out and lost water. The valve handle is completely busted where it was slammed against the building, or the tank itself. See how the tank is folded out at the bottom? There's a wrinkle in the valve. There's a pipeline. You can see where it's all twisted and busted away there. The old line. You can see here where it jerked at. There's how they figured out how high the tank had lifted, because they pulled that pipe out of the ground. And there you can see where it was normally set. The whole bottom of the tank has got that whiffle in it. By the way, that is not factory. That is Mother Nature's job. She did that herself. It busted and buckled it so hard, give you an idea that it actually blew rivets, or the bolts, right out of the side there. Yes?
Joe.
Who?
I
just gave you a picture of my tongue. Yeah, as you can see, this place is full of groceries. Everybody's just left from breakfast. We should have got in here and filmed earlier, but just cleaning up from breakfast. We got some left.
We were down there. Aftershock, then we'd come home every 2 weeks to check on our water.
Even the neighbor's dog is here.
Down there because that water wasn't drinkable. And we could feel aftershocks here. It lasted for a long, long time.
Okay, in this room over here, we've got the doctor kicking back, waiting on everybody to come in. Who all's hiding out in here? I know there's no patients hiding out in here.
No. Not right now. You want another shot?
In that case, well, let me zoom out of here.
Wonderful.
I got all kinds of clothes here for people who've lost everything. There's houses up here that's totally destroyed. Everybody trying to help out here in the
I
back.
met her. She came in and gave me the card. I didn't know who she was.
I don't know who she is either.
But it was a pretty verse on the card.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
You know, we're all going to break your camera. Sam, he's taking your picture.
Oh, that's good.
I got a picture of that comic book, too, with all the pictures in it, no words.
That isn't a comic book.
Trunks.
Taurus. Tahoe. Good morning. Okay. Little cleanup I done around here since the earthquake. Moved the dog house around a little bit. Cleared the place off, put cable down for the dogs so they got a longer run. Also got rid of the 47. Not much to see, but a hell of a nice, pretty morning. Oh, yeah. Randy Fulcher's tractor. I borrowed his grading tractor. Old beater. One of the last ones of its kind. Still has a clutch. That house up on the hill. I'll zoom up on it. I don't know if we'll be able to see. No. It's been red tagged. It's got to be destroyed. The earthquake has absolutely shook it apart. It's not even safe to walk through, let alone live in.
It doesn't have dirt down in it, Joe.
Yeah, it's a fresh crack.
It's a fresh crack.
You see that?
Yeah.
We live right there. Look, we're surrounded.
It's a map of all the fractures and fissures and fault lines that are in this area.
We live right there.
They have added the new fault line, of course, that they couldn't figure out before.
This is not it, because it went around here.
Mm-hmm. Let me zoom in on this crack in the floor. Barbara was looking at this. There's no dirt in it, so apparently it has to be a new one. It's understandable to get a little crack like that in the floor after some we have seen in other people.
Around our house.
What you're looking at is a crack in the ground over near Acoma and Jesse Road, between Jesse and Lynn. Barbara's getting ready to step down in the crack here to give you an idea how deep some of these holes are on the surface. She will point out. Another big hole in the ground.
I mean, that's straight up. And everything's been
Can't believe these buildings are still standing after the quake and being this close where the ground broke up the way it did
Is this
here
where everybody's standing?
and then destroyed this house on the hill. I have aerial photographs we'll see later of this.
How'd you like to have been in that house?
Just get a picture of this thing. Joe, get a picture of, let me walk down it and get a picture of it. Get it, oh, you got it off the Zoom?
Yeah.
But look at the height of it.
Huh? Raised up 3 or 4 feet in places.
I'm 5'6" with these shoes on.
I'm standing on top of the fault that I just filmed that raised out of the ground 3 or 4 feet. And looking at this hill here, I'll zoom in on it, you can see where the fracture starts and goes right up the hill to the house. The house was sitting on a good rock foundation, and it's all down. Everything there has toppled over and collapsed. This is a panoramic view from the fault break off of a coma in Landers, spanning the area and looking out over the valley. We're coming around to the east now. Okay, there. And I'll zoom up on the horizon. You're looking at approximately 60, 65 miles. That's out towards the Sheephole Mountains. 29 Palms. Coming around towards Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree National Monument is in that direction.
Okay, it says REC.
Now it says pause or REC? It says REC. Okay. Okay, we're driving up Lynn Road, heading right into the fault line. And as you look, we're driving up the right-hand side of the road, and we're facing the left-hand side of the road, where the yellow line is. When we get up there, you'll be able to see how far the road has actually moved north to south. We are now crossing the fault line right here. Okay, shut it off.
Okay. Now how do you shut it off?
Just punch record. You got it on record?
Yeah.
Okay, we're looking towards Goat. Sitting on Lynn Road, looking towards Goat Mountain. The little black line on the road is where the fault line starts and where it has been repaired. This is facing the other way from the direction we just came.
Drive forward, you pull the tree.
Drive up to where you can see the walls busted out on the side. Okay, can you see where the wall's starting to break out? You got that? Okay.
Can't tell what it is, though.
You're on record.
that? You got it on record?
Yeah. Oh, I put my head down. Still.
See, the garage is twisted.
This will make everybody sick. Trying to watch it.
There is devastation and there is irony. This is irony. This house looked just like this before the earthquake. And where is this house? As I span, you can see the bend in the road. You can also see the dip in the road and the new blacktop on Ritchie Road in Landers. There was a 5-foot drop and the road changed 12 feet right there where you are looking. But yet, the old time, not up to code, turn off. You come down this wash to that road there, and you follow that road up to where we're standing right now, and you will find the break in the ground starting there, coming across. There had to be something going on around here to do all this. Turning into the sun now, I hope it'll keep filming. Sometimes it glares out. The ground is just virtually riddled with cracks here. As I swing around, watching this thing go over the hill there, the road, as I swing around, I'll be able to see some more here. It's a real fine line there, up on the hill there. Just pan over. Seems to go right over the ridge there. Then you lose it because of the hillside. Then there's a little one there, picks up and goes right along through there. Raise up, and there's another one there, goes over that hill. Where the ground has settled here. CHP helicopter making a turn around this place. Barbara down at the pickup truck getting ready to hike up here with her little water jug. We drove up this close to it. You can see the crack running along the thing there in the center of the picture. As I zoom back, you can see how the ground's all broke up, twisted and busted coming up to here. People have been out here taking photographs and getting pictures. There's a little path wore across it right here already. I'm standing on a hill not too far from where I filmed the first time. And as you look down this way, you can see that there is quite a difference in the landscape since this happened. This fault runs right on out across there, on out to that area out in there. We're going to follow it for a ways and see what we come up with. What you're looking at is Barbara standing next to the wall. She's walking out of the crevice now. Almost a Well, it is definitely because the earth moved.
You're going to have to come up with some new jokes.
This is pretty rugged terrain, as you can see. And I was told to bring a four-wheel drive to get here. However, I'm here. At the bottom of this road, you'll see where the ground's all broke up right in there. I'm standing right on top of the fault line where it crossed this knoll. Looking at the bottom of the hill from where I'm standing. As it comes up. There's a fracture runs out across that wash, going that direction. There's another one there. They run right over top of that hill and out through the desert. Come back around this way and you can, there's another one right there, starting, going back this way. It goes up that way. We're not alone, we got friends out here viewing the fault line ourselves.
You got an airplane up too.
You can hear the airplane in the back, I'm sure. Panning around, looking at the wash where it comes over the hill back here. I'll zoom in. There's where the fault comes across right there. There. Comes around.
But Jim doesn't have a silver plane with a blue tail, does he?
Red. Has a red tail. Yeah, it might be him flying around this morning. We had a helicopter out here flying around. Now we got a little light airplane flying around. A lot of people have been out here to see this. This is a rock laying on top of the fault here, and we can tell it's a new break because inside the crevice is fresh dirt and mud. Here's another rock laying here with a big chunk laying out of it. The chunk is laying right there to the right of it where it fell down. This is the other side of the hill on the way back down the fault. All those fractures go down into this little crevice here. This crevice got a crack runs all the way down. Here's evidence that the geologists and the seismology group has been out here. They've got a rock with a number on it, showing that they've checked this area out and measured it. Now, as we zoom in on this rock here, there's another little rock on top with some yellow tape on it. It's been marked also here. Barbara's standing there next to that hole where that rock is and that greasewood. The ground's separated there. Moved quite a bit. We have a group of sightseers coming in to check out the fault line. I'll point it out to them. They're going to walk around and check this thing out.
It's actually a fault that is not a plate.
Yeah. Where you guys from?
I don't know faulted plate. I wonder if the Sierra Club heard about this in regard to how many tortoises died in their den.
Oh, please.
Should we get started on that?
I think we should get a bill to. No more earthquakes. Yeah, we'll have to stop these earthquakes.
Where you guys from?
All over. Southern California. I'm in San Clemente.
Big Bear.
Big Bear?
Boy, you
Yeah,
guys
he's still
had
putting
it-
his house back together.
You guys had it pretty good. We were going to go to Big Bear that morning for breakfast. And,
Would have had trouble on that road on the backside.
well, we'd have made it up there in time for breakfast, but our house...
Oh, about 100 feet in front of his place. And his Mustang was parked up by his front door. And when he come home from vacation, it had drifted down and turned and was facing out the driveway.
He was trying to make a getaway.
I don't blame it. It's quite a movement there. Walk over there to that bank now, right where that lift is. That thing comes straight up out of the ground. Yeah. Comes right up. They're bombing out there at the Marine base, so all this shaking and rocking and rolling is pretty good. For some of you who are curious about what the inside of a fault looks like, we'll take you down in one. Here we go. Sailing along, moving along. You can see both sides of the bank. Looking ahead, moving along. Coming up, you see my shadow in there. Coming along, you're down in the fault line, you're down in the crack, you're way down in the hole, you're way down in there. Now we're coming up the other side. Climbing up our little Cessna here. Getting ready to take a fly out across the countryside and go over top of our fault line out here that is so distinctive, which you will see later on. Today is 8/11. It's 6. Okay, now what we've got going here now is a aerial of all this, and we're coming up on the little red and white house here that was destroyed. You see the fault line where Barbara and I were standing and filming earlier, and you watch as it goes along here. We flying on this like we have been has been a real problem, because you can't get as low as you'd like to, and you can't go as slow as you want to with an airplane. But you can see the fault line running along here pretty good here. We're going to make another turnaround after we go through this guy's yard. I wanted to get a close shot of this guy's yard coming up, because there's fractures all through his yard, and they head right towards the water tower. You'll see the water tank here pretty soon, so we'll go from there. This driveway is just full of lines, and you can see that it's all full of fractures. This is the Bighorn Water Agency water tank we showed you earlier, and they have tapped into the side of this thing, and the side about halfway up with a pipe, and that's the overflow pipe. So that's all the more water they're allowed to use in that tank, because it may not withstand anymore. Now we're going to fly the fault line from higher up, and if you watch, you'll see that this whole countryside is just riddled with fractures that run through here. You'll see one major one, but if you watch, there's several in here that they just come in from nowhere, up out of the washes and stuff like that. There's that guy's house where the lines all go through his yard. I mean, they really destroyed that place. I don't know if he's going to be allowed to stay there or not. They've got some kind of ruling now that you're not allowed to build or live within 300 feet of that fault line. But there is an exception to existing structures. Now we've got down a little lower. You can see where this goes through the back yard of this guy's house and this house. It run along and it crosses over the road here, and goes under this. Well, it doesn't go under his house, but it goes right through his backyard and swings around. And then we come up on this double wide trailer close to Ritchie Road. You'll see it there now. And that garage, all that is right on the fault crack. And that line, you can see it running through the desert where it crosses Ritchie Road there. And then you kind of lose it a little bit, and it comes back, and it goes and comes. But it's in the
ground there. If you walk it, you could definitely find it. There's no problem with that. That's Mrs. Elliott's house, and it's got to be tore down. It's all broke up. This is Whalen's Wash. We're crossing over Old Woman Springs Road again here with the fault line. It goes right up over that hill, as you can see, and goes along behind Whalen's Ranch here, and comes out behind the church, around that white building there, and in front of this house. It's all been cleaned up, so you can't really see it there, but that's the way it would run. It's a picture of my house in Landers, going and coming. I made 2 trips. Now we're back up on Old Woman Springs Road, and what we have is a fault line running along here now. You can see they've patched the road. I'll drop down. Now there's the road and some cracks. At the top of the picture you'll see the major fault line going through. I've located it with a camera, and you have to watch. You can see where it goes through there though. It goes about 100 feet in front of this next house, right down through the thing there. This is Steve Bulba's house. We've seen it earlier where it was all shook apart. And it proceeds down through here, through the fence lines and all that kind of stuff, and in front of these houses. These houses all took a real beating. Behind the hardware and Mark's shop, M&G Tire, and the dentist office, Flamingo Market area. And through the desert here, it crosses all these roads which have been fixed so people can get back and forth now. But they opened the roads up pretty good. They had some pretty good bumps and scratches and cracks through these roads. It crosses the road right there and goes in front of that house, and up by the well site it crosses the road again and goes through this parking lot at the grub stakes. And this is all on Old Woman Springs Road, north of Yucca Valley. The fault line runs on the other side of the road there, about 50, 75, 100 feet at times, and parallels the road pretty much. And then up along here you'll see a new patch in the road. Well, this is where it crosses back across the road and heads for Pipes Canyon. And this is about 6 or 7 miles north of Yucca Valley now. And as it goes through this guy's yard, it goes right behind his little shed and across the driveway, and then behind this house and behind the next house. Okay, and it starts to kind of break out towards the road again, and if you watch, you'll start to see it here in this guy's yard and running along here and by the mailboxes and stuff, paralleling the road. We kind of lose it here until we get to the other side of Pipes Canyon where we are now, and you'll see a little line in the desert down there. Well, this is a kind of a transition line where the thing runs along the bottom of these hills and parallels the road. But there's a place right along here that breaks off and goes out towards the Starlight Mesa Road in the Starlight Mesa area. And it goes across there at about a 45-degree angle from the road right along here. We're coming down to Bob's Economy, and the fault line has been lost to the eye here. You can find it and find fractures when you get out and walk, but from the air you can't see it. The top of that hill looks like a fracture, but I haven't been there, so I'm not going to say that it is. It very well could be, though. The next thing you'll see is the bowling alley in Yucca Valley. That's the famous building that fell down in Yucca Valley. That wasn't a structure wall. That wall was for adding on to the bowling alley later. So it wasn't technically a structure wall. However, the bowling alley is broke up so bad that it's going to have to be tore down, I believe. You're looking into Yucca Valley. We're getting ready to make a swing so we can get a better shot looking back in the bowling alley. We have to do this the way we're doing it right now because it's early in the morning, that if we get around, you can see I start losing the focus on the camera. There you go. Now we're getting a better shot of the bowling alley. We're proceeding from the bowling alley up the wash across the road into the Palomar area. And that house in the picture now has been really destroyed. It's got to be tore down, I believe. And as we proceed up the fault line, it crosses this road here, and it didn't raise the road at all. It just merely dropped the center out of it in a real funny formation. And just the bottom just dropped out of that, so to speak.
I think I'm going to go to the river and go fishing.
like to go with you.
Maybe we would pack up everybody and go, you know.
Randy's got that job coming up in Borrego Springs. I told him if he can use me, I'd go. And you put all new mud seal in here, huh?
All new mud seal and I think there's 25 new studs. I think I still got about 5 over there.
Yeah.
I bought 30. I figured that'd be enough. I got some new studs in this corner here. You can see that.
Yeah, I'll come around there and film that. I'm just wanting to make sure we get all the shows that it's insulated, shear paneled, and all nailed off right.
Before and after shit.
I got this tied off pretty good. All I gotta do is run up, let's see, 1. Get right up in there. I want to get, as soon as I can get the rest of this up and then stucco wire up. I'm going to go down and have them come out and inspect it. Because I'm going to take the whole bottom sheetrock roll off on the inside.
Yeah,
yeah. And they can see everything. Get that sucker done. Then I can take off for a few days and lock the place up.
Yeah.
Can't lock it up now.
More like, you know, sometime today. What surprised me is all that mud sill is
I'm afraid so.
Inside of a mountain.
It looks like an explosion in slow motion or a volcano.
Really? And look what's behind it. It's
I think we might be in deep shit, huh?
well, the wind comes from the south. Your trailer will protect the house. I might sleep in the motorhome tonight.
It's supposed to be an earthquake.
What?
It's supposed to be another earthquake. You better sleep in the motorhome.
No, now I am. Where'd you hear that?
I don't know, Joe and his bullshit.
Joe,
well, I didn't believe in the first night. You know, the night before the big one?
Yeah.
He said there was going to be a big earthquake, and I told him he was full of shit. You know,
really?
he doesn't even live there.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Well, but what money, you get a grant from, say, well, the people over there at the mobile home, they're trying for a grant of $15,000. Then people told me to come around in these green shirts. What you don't use of that grant, you have to send back.
Yeah.
Yeah, she took all
all the furniture.
All the good furniture is gone.
All the VCR tapes. Those are, you know, you figure $20 a piece.
Yeah. A whole bunch of them.
How